Hi, and welcome to this week's episode of Think Tank Thursday. I am Candi Kelley, and I am your host this week. Before we begin, I want to give a shout out to our 2023 Think Tank sponsors. It is because of them that I'm able to be here every single week with you guys and bringing you new and interesting things to think about. So thank you so much to Betson, Roller, Delta Strike, Redemption Plus, and Simnox. Go check all of them out and show them some love. Now, on Thursdays, TrainerTainment likes to take a little bit of time away from the doing and spend some time thinking. And I am so excited about our guest this week. As you guys may have been following along with, TrainerTainment has been expanding its team so that we can better serve each of our clients. And this week, we're going to meet our new team member, Dan Poertner, who has a history in the attractions and entertainment industry and then left for a little bit and has come back as part of the TrainerTainment team. And I am sure we are all going to welcome him back with a warm welcome. So let's jump in and find out a little bit about Dan Poertner. Dan, welcome to Think Tank Thursday. For those who may not know who you are, why don't you take a minute and tell everyone a little bit about your background?
All right. Well, it's great to be here. And what I certainly wanted to do is tell you a little bit about where I've been and a little bit about where I'm going. I have been in the staffing industry for the last 15 years, placing people all over the country and in all different types of work for both Fortune 500 companies as well as small family-owned businesses. But prior to that, I had at least 20 years of experience in the amusement park FEC world, and certainly enjoyed my time there. I did several different functions, worked with debit card systems, selling them and installing them. I also worked with building and running FECs, operating games, as well as working all the different parts of an amusement park. So kind of have a varied background, and certainly wanted to get back into a fun industry, and this is where I'm at, and I'm glad to be here.
I know that leads me to our next question. What was it when you heard about the TrainerTainment opportunity? What really was it that really compelled you to reach out to Beth and say, maybe I could be a fit for this?
Well, I, like thousands of other people, are an FOB. I'm a friend of Beth's. Worked together. Like we worked together 20 plus years ago. Of course, we both were 10 years old at the time. We enjoyed working in the amusement industry, and while I've been doing the staffing, I kept in touch with her from time to time, watched her business go and grow, and stayed signed up for her emails, as well as a couple other key people in the industry. And when it came time to think of what I'm going to do with the next 10 years of my life, getting back into the fun industry was one thing I wanted to do. And when I saw Beth's reach out to grow her company, it seemed like God had put the right thing in the right place at the right time. We reached out, and here we are. We're going and growing.
I know, we're so thrilled to have you on the team. As you mentioned, you spent 14 years, I think you said, outside of the industry. So when you think back, what have you missed most about the attractions industry?
Gosh, I have, boy, what have I missed? I took my kids a lot of the times to many of my clients, and they're all grown, but now I have grandkids. So I'm going to look forward to taking them to my clients and even my non-client locations, just to experience the FEC and the amusement world just like everybody else does, and it really gives me a way to understand how the client thinks and not just how a vendor would think. I also enjoy interacting with the folks. They're usually privately owned businesses, they're small businesses, they're entrepreneurial. A lot of times they want to have a new niche in their community, and they want to provide something that the community doesn't have. And it's really great to work in those environments. And, with the clients that we touch at TrainerTainment, I'm be able to dive right back in and help do that, both with new clients as well as very well-established clients in several different fun industries. And I'm looking forward to that.
That's one of the things I love most about this industry as well, is that so much of it was started because someone wanted to fill a gap in their community. And instead of saying, well, someone should do that, someone should open something for kids to do, somebody should open something for adults to do, we work with so many people who, instead of saying someone, they said, I can do that, I can fill that gap, and then found ways to make it happen. And so that's one of my favorite things about the industry as well. So being gone for 14 years, it's a lot of change. You've been back for a couple of months now, maybe 2 months now, really kind of diving in and getting back up to speed. What has been some of the biggest changes you've noticed within the industry since you've been gone?
Gosh, well, a lot of it is the same, but the big changes that I see are things are getting better, locations are getting bigger, games are getting bigger. I remember using to put a game on a two-wheel red dolly and rolling it through the door. Most of the games now are in 5 to 10 pieces. So so the product that makes the games is getting bigger. The facilities are getting bigger. Businesses are moving faster. Our customers are moving faster. Things are louder. There's more opportunities, but there's also more competition. But I also feel that what I've seen in the last couple of years, since COVID particularly, is a big growth spurt in entertainment and people wanting to get out of the house. And I compare it back to the 90s when we were putting in FECs for the first time. There was a big growth spurt during that decade that I was able to help with that. And I see it very similar today. What would that be several decades later? So I'm excited that I don't see a top coming to the market anytime soon. And we certainly are in a position here at TrainerTainment to help both the new client that's going to have to dive right in and compete against the best of the best, as well as our clients that have been in their marketplace for a long time, some of them doing the same thing that they've done for a long time and realizing that their market share is getting smaller and smaller, and we have to help them grab that back. So I see it as an opportunity on both ends of the market, but definitely getting bigger and faster for sure.
I know, I bet it's so interesting to watch the growth of an industry because, back in the early 90s, to be able to go to the arcade in the mall was awesome, or just a skating rink. It was like the thing, and so awesome. And then as there has been innovation with the industry, which said, hey, why don't we mix arcade with this? Or why don't we mix 2 attractions and bowling, and let's mix an arcade with like ropes courses overnight. With each one of those innovations, we also up the expectations of the clients that come in. And so watching all of that come to fruition and kind of mix together has been very interesting to follow.
Yeah, certainly has.
So you, in your career, which you've gone from like sales to helping recruitment to you even installed, as you mentioned a minute ago, installed games. Like not only did you sell games, but you physically took the games and placed them and helped find all of that. I'm sure there's been lots of like mentors and people have given you great advice over the years. So what is one lesson that your career up to this point has taught you that you think everybody should learn at some point in their life?
Boy, I'd like to talk about a really positive lesson, but I'm going to say that the biggest lesson I learned was there was a point in my career that things got difficult. The technologies were changing, and we were providing products that sometimes were out there not producing what we said. And what I found was that no matter what the challenge, as long as the client and the supplier are brutally honest with each other, no matter what the outcomes are, working together and being honest can make the best outcome of it. And sometimes in those trying times, I found that we had a better relationship and we got through it and grew even further and farther through that difficult time. So I now don't look as badly on negatives. I just look at it as a way to try and invest extra time and effort to see how we can grow this into the next positive.
Yeah, I have a thing that I tell my kids all the time, that communicate, and it works in business, it works in parenting, communication solves most issues. If you are just honest and open and don't try to like avoid what is the truth at the moment, whether it's shipping times have been pushed back 3 weeks for your XYZ, whatever it may be, or it's what you just said, like let me tell you how I retook that and let's talk about that. If you're just open, it can solve a whole lot of issues that we don't need to go through all the time.
Right.
So
That's it.
So coming back, I'm going to throw you a little bit of curveball, as I know I like to prep my guests with questions ahead of time, but it always goes to other things. You worked in staffing for a long time, and I know that coming back, I know that you have noticed some of the struggles that family entertainment centers are starting to have with staffing. What sticks out to you about recruiting, what you did before at a much higher level, and hiring for frontline staff? Is there anything from your previous job experience that could be a nice lesson for everyone else out there?
Or don't get defeated. You have to stay positive. If you're not able to sell working at your facility as being a positive for them, it's going to be hard for them to see it as a positive for them. A lot of times, even when you're dealing with people that making $50, $60 an hour, you might not be delivering the highest potential job for them, but you need to show the other things that are advantages to them. Hey, you get to bring your date and bowl free. You get to play the games. You get to learn skills that you don't have. We're going to take care of you. You get free soda every time you get a break. Those are small things, but to the frontline folks that don't have a lot, there's probably extra things that you can help and provide besides money that will help encourage them. Now, there is certainly a mathematical equation that if you're offering $9 an hour and everybody else in town is offering 12 to 15, you're going to have to overcome that another way. You're going to either have to look for a different subset of employees, which is going to be pretty tough, or you're going to have to try and figure out, can we operate with fewer people that get paid more money? And a lot of times with our clients here at TrainerTainment, we're able to say, well, if we have 3 high-performing people as opposed to 5 low-performing people, I think we could get the same job done, and the clients are probably, and the customers, the end customers are going to be much happier. So there are some discussions that we've had in the past like that, where we're able to stick with the same budget and try and work out getting those higher pay rates, and still have the same payroll percentages, and hopefully those higher performing I'm getting confused. The higher performing employees are going to bring in even more customers, which then will give us more revenue, so then we can invest more money in our people to keep the same labor percentages. So growing is always a really good thing to help solve problems like that.
I love what you just said, and what you did not say anywhere in that is to lower your expectations for your employees. So I think that sometimes that has happened where staffing is hard, and so you don't give the same experience. But I think the long-term effect of not giving a great guest experience is way more negative and harder to overcome than investing in training and investing in the right people and being patient and not feeling defeated, like you said at the beginning of that.
And if you don't mind, I got one more thing to add.
Of course.
We had a couple of clients that said, I just can't pay more money. Well, you're going to have to go for a different subset of candidates. So if we waive the background, waive the background screening, we can get more people that would qualify for your business. Oh, well, let's do that. That way I can keep my budget the same. Well, what happens? 2 months later, the client comes back and says, my employees are fighting with each other. I just had somebody that ran into somebody else in the parking lot because they were angry at them. Why are all these people that you're finding me not work right? I said, well, remember, we lowered your standards. And sometimes that can even cost you, especially in a retail business, especially in a music. Lowering those standards is going to be obvious to your clients and your customers, and it would have even a worse, and it would lower the revenue, which would even lower your labor percentage more. So, there are ways to keep the same money, but it's not going to have the same outcome. So I sometimes positive can be followed up by a negative to show the same thing. I think that does.
Awesome. Well, thanks for that insight from your previous, career path. I think that you bringing that insight to this industry and bringing what you've learned over the past 14 years. I know you've submitted some call for speakers that are around like employee retention and like finding the right and some of those decisions that you have to make in that. And I think that that is going to be such a benefit to the industry as well. And I know we've got you on the hook for a webinar next year in relation to it as well. So super excited to have you on the team, sharing from your previous attraction industry experience, and then of course the recruitment side as well. When people come on Think Tank, they get asked a signature question, and it can be one of two, but today I'm going to ask you both of them. Are you ready?
I'm ready.
All right. The first one that they could possibly get asked is, what do you do on a consistent basis to grow yourself?
Gosh. So I'm going to say that I am always looking for ways to improve. I've very much enjoyed coming on board with TrainerTainment, because not only do we train people how to go and grow with their business, we also participate in it as a company ourselves. And even having been here only a month and a half or 2 months as it is, I really have grown a lot in taking on the same standards that we hold our clients to. Personally, I do like reading books, primarily about sales, because that's typically where I end up half to 3/4 of my time. I also watch metrics in my, whether it's an amusement business. We look at all the games revenue. We look at the, and then we look for anomalies. Why did it go up? Why did it go down? We thought we were busier, but we didn't get as much money. In the staffing, I would always look at, see what my weekly billables were, and how did they go up or how did they go down compared to the week before, and just continually try to use those metrics to grow the business and ultimately make our clients happier, as well as then after all that's done, we could shoot for increasing our profits as well. So I really like the opportunity I have here to help do that.
Awesome. The other question that our guests could be asked is, what do you do on a consistent basis to help others grow?
Well, I point out all their shortcomings, of course. That's the easy part. The hard part is I really don't do that very often. Being consistent and aware in my personal relationships certainly is probably a big part of that. And trying to help them grow without telling them what to do is always a challenge, just like it is in business. So I see a big, strong correlation there. I certainly try and see what the latest and greatest things are in the industry. Not that we have to chase the Joneses to figure out what they're doing to copy them, but to just keep in mind what is going out in the general marketplace. And if it's catching hold, is there something similar to that would fit with our client in our marketplace and so forth. So there are certainly suggestions that we make to our clients that we've seen in other places, not to copy, but to stay abreast of the industry. And I think many vendors do the same thing. Obviously, if someone's selling the hottest, latest, greatest game, they think everybody needs it, but maybe there's a similar game that if the other one's back ordered and so forth. So kind of help consult even when we're not on the payroll for consulting.
Yes. Well, as we welcome you back to the industry, what are you most excited about in this new role with TrainerTainment and back in the industry that you called home for such a long time before?
Boy, how long is this interview going to be? So working with you and Beth and the rest of the team has been a complete pleasure. It's a very different environment than where I was working before. In the staffing industry in particular, just the makeup of the company and the goals of the company and so forth. Besides that, it's hard to not have fun in a fun industry. It's sometimes things that we forget about. I think sometimes we dig too far into the metrics and forget that if serving food, the food should taste good. If you're serving entertainment, the entertainment should be enjoyable. If you're serving an experience, it should be experiential. It should maybe even spiritual if you can get to that point. I think that, you know, we just have to be real careful and always walk our businesses in our clients and our customers' shoes, and make sure that we're not missing something that they can see real obvious that we either planned for them to see or didn't plan for them to see.
Awesome. Well, I hope that you guys all welcome Dan back to the industry. If they want to connect with you, Dan, where would you send our audience?
Let's see, I have a real tough email to remember. It's Dan, D-A-N, at TrainerTainment.com. If you go to the website, I think you can click on my smiling picture and connect with me there. And by all means, if you don't have my cell number, get it, and we can connect on a real personal basis, and we can go forward from there. And if nothing else, catch up if I've missed you over the last decade or so, or we can start a relationship that will last another decade. So I certainly look forward to hearing from folks out there, and by all means, helping me grow while we help others grow. So we're looking forward to it.
And I'm going to throw it out. If you want to come, if you remember Dan from before and want to just come say hello again, or want to meet Dan for the very first time, he is going to be there all week at IAPA this year, guys. And so we're at booth 4656. You can come by and say hello to Dan and some of the other new people that we have brought onto the TrainerTainment team, which allows us to grow so we can help you guys grow even more. And so, Dan, thank you for your time today. I know that you have been busy getting up to speed, and I think Beth has you on the road right now. So thanks for carving out a little bit of time to reintroduce yourself to our audience.
Yes, it was a pleasure, and we'll certainly look forward to engaging with everyone. And I certainly am looking forward to IAPA. I haven't been there for a little while, so it'll be interesting to see how much bigger, faster, louder, and more challenging that is. So we're looking forward to it.
Awesome. I hope that you guys enjoy Dan as much as TrainerTainment has been enjoying having him as part of our team. Make sure that you check him out at IAPA, and you can hit him up through our website, TrainerTainment.net. If you learn about the About Us, you can schedule a growth call with him and just learn more about him. Thank you guys again for choosing us to spend your time with. I know that time is very valuable to all of us. And so anytime that you spend listening to us on Think Tank Thursday, we so appreciate it, as do our 2023 digital sponsors. So thank you so very much. If you have a Think Tank idea, you want to be a guest on Think Tank, or if you'd like to sponsor Think Tank, please feel free to reach out to me at any time. You can find me at Candi@TrainerTainment.net. And then be sure to check out where you can connect with us in real life. TrainerTainment's always on the go. And so all of our upcoming events and appearances can be found at TrainerTainment.net under our events menu. We definitely have IAPA on our schedule, along with some smaller shows here and there. So thank you all, and I will check you on the next episode. Have a great day.